Welcome to our Devos. This week, we are really excited to look into this idea of preparing for progress. There's nobody that I know who wants their 2026 to look worse than their 2025. All of us want progress, but we don't know what it looks like for us to get there. And specifically, we don't know what the Lord might be wanting of us before he blesses us with a season where we're growing both spiritually, physically, mentally, and all the different areas. We need to make sure that we are ready for progress. So today, I want to introduce you to this idea, or this principle, I should say, which I call the lottery winner principle. And that is, God grows what you can sustain. The reason I call it the lottery winner principle is because if you do any research on what happens to people after they win the lottery, I'm not talking about they got a scratch-off ticket for a birthday gift and they won $50, but I'm talking about people that win millions of dollars and they are instantly in a multi-million dollar net worth situation that they weren't in. They are elevated overnight into this situation. If you research what happens to them, it's actually rather tragic. My wife and I, we're a sucker for documentaries, and morbid too. She likes the dark crime, like my husband was a serial killer and I didn't know it, documentaries. I don't watch that. I prefer fiction and things that are on the lighter end, but she really likes that stuff. Well, we landed on one documentary that was kind of detailing where lottery winners, like where they go after they win the lottery and how they behave. And you'd be surprised, or maybe not, to know that a lot of them who really won the jackpot, some of them ended up actually dying from it. Like it killed them. Like they couldn't handle the lifestyle that went along with that type of money. Almost all of them, it ruined their relationships. Like they could not maintain normal relationships because of the level of wealth that they'd attained. And some of them actually went into illegal things because they weren't the type of person that was ready to be able to obtain that kind of money. Well, this is not true for just the lottery, but this is true for blessing in general. And one of the reasons, and I want to encourage you about this because it's easy to get discouraged, especially as we're heading into now coming towards the end of January. This is really easy to get discouraged when you have a plan about something that you knew that God wanted you to do, but you don't progress to the level that you thought you would. Well, one of the reasons might be is that you're not ready yet. Like you're not able to maintain the blessing that you're praying to God for. So I'll give you a couple examples. So first I want to share this scripture, and this is Jesus speaking in Luke chapter 16, verse 12. He says, "And if you have not been faithful in that which is another's, who will give you that which is your own?" This is very similar to what he says in the parable of the talents, where if you've been faithful in the little things, God will establish you to become faithful in greater things, or more in a numeric way, bigger things. So this is the same principle. Now, when you are right now looking for a goal, let's say this year your goal is you want to get married, or you want to find a spouse, and you're like, well, I can't find the right person. Well, you need to work on being the right person. You want to be the person that the person you're looking for is looking for. Let's say your goal is that you want to be a certain goal weight. Let's say you're like, okay, I'm sick of being this weight. I'm sick of not being able to fit into a suit or a dress. I'm sick of this. I want to trim up. Okay, become the person who is considered a healthy person. What does that person eat? How does that person behave? Let's say you want to become a person that is debt-free. And you're like, I just want all this money. Become a person who manages the little bit of money that they have coming in right now well. Because what happens is you might not be obtaining because God knows that you can't maintain. And so this is something that might change the way you look at your goals. So when you are praying, ask God, okay, what do you want to change in me that would enable me to be able to handle the blessings that you are trying to give me? Tell me what to change. Like, who do I need to become in order to be a person that can maintain that? Because you don't want to end up like one of those lottery winners.